Yo, welcome to another edition of Madden Simulation. We are up to week 14. That's right. As you notice, I have a little new setup, and hey. But anyways, we're up to week 14. Last week, Madden unfortunately did not get it right. Uh, as we simulated New England at Buffalo, Madden predicted Buffalo was going to eke out the win, but it was the other way around. This week, we're doing another divisional matchup in the East, but this time in the NFC, as we have a crucial showdown with the Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington football team. Both teams are coming in on, well, I shouldn't say winning streaks. Dallas just got back on their winning ways, as Washington is on a little roll as themselves. Washington has won now, four in a row. They're back at 500 at 6-6, I think, and Dallas is at 8-4. Sounds about right. We'll double check on that, but we'll dive into these two teams and how they got to where they are now, and some other fun action. So let's sit back, relax, talk about some football, and see who comes out on top. So, like I said, this is a crucial NFC East matchup. Dallas, where it looked like after week one, losing to Tampa Bay, they were just cruising. They were just, what is it? Moving right along. But then the month of November hit, and everything come to a full stop, more or less. And no, they did not participate in No Win November, I don't think, but it was close to it. Um, just give me a few. We'll dive into this. So what is this? Oh, Washington will get the ball first. Okay. Man, where? Standings. Like I was saying before, NFC East showdown. These two teams are, you know, neck and neck. Yeah, Washington's won 4 in a row. Dallas just finally bounced back, got a win. Dallas, as we all know, they started the season at Tampa Bay on the season opener and just fell short. They were winning. They were winning. But, as the old adage goes, too much time. Woo! There. But then Dallas rattled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. It was 6-1. Then they met the Denver Broncos on November 7th and came to a screeching halt as they lost 30-16, which seemed to be a very surprising outcome. As the Denver Broncos, Denver Broncos are a up and down team, okay? And who knows that AFC West, is actually one of those. It's one of those divisions. And so, but then the Cowboys bounced back because they played the Atlanta Falcons and they took them to the woodshed, 43-3. Then they headed to Kansas City and lost by 10, 19-9. Then they lost to Oakland, the former Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, on Thanksgiving, 37-10. 36-3, but if the referees didn't get involved, it might run with it, dude. Oh, that works too. Touchdown. What do I know? What do I know? I guess. Whew. But the game was tied. They were winning, so on and so forth, and they lost in overtime, 36-33. But then last week they bounced back, being the Saints 27-17. So now, with 5 games left, the Cowboys, 4 of the last 5 games they have are divisional opponents. Starting with Washington, then the Giants, Washington again, Arizona, and the Eagles. Oh, in 2 weeks, that's a Sunday night game, the day after Christmas. The rematch of this one, but I don't think. No, I'm not doing. I'm trying to avoid divisional rematches, just because if I did once, I don't want to try and do them again unless it seems to be the best possible game best possible game possible. But who knows? Ugh. Thirsty. So I do want to see what that looks like real quick. Some of the matchups for Week 16. That would be a potential one. Vikings and Rams. Steelers and Chiefs. Broncos and Raiders maybe. But anyway, now let's jump into Washington, since we just looked at dumb boys, how they got to where they are today and how they are leading the division. Oh, he is stuffed. And the thing is, Washington lost their key defensive player, the former rookie defensive player of the year, Chase Young, and it seemed like they got better. So, dang it, I hate when. That's the thing. Stupid ESPN. When your team plays somebody, they always throw that on top. So I got to do this just right. Okay. So, Week 1, Washington hosts the LA Chargers. They lost. Week 2, they had a Thursday night game. And their only divisional game at that point, the Giants, where they won on a last-second field goal because the Giants jumped off sides, I think it was. So they got to redo that field goal attempt, and it was good. But then they went to Buffalo, lost. They played Atlanta. Who doesn't beat Atlanta? I think at least 6 other teams. Yawn factor. So they beat Atlanta. They host Saints. The Saints beat them, but I think they had not Lamar Jackson. What am I thinking of? Oh, come on. Oh my God! This whole time. I'm so sorry. Oh well. What is that? Oh, the first 9 minutes. Okay, so. Oh my goodness. So okay, you missed an incredible play for Washington. Washington's up 7-0. My goodness. I'm not going back. I'm not starting this over. We move on, right? I just gotta get my head out of my butt. That's it. I can't believe that I didn't click on the right thing. Oh, just in time to show I don't know why I didn't notice that. You know, I'm usually pretty good at that. Anyways, first 10 minutes, you just see me talking instead of putting the game on. That's what we're here for, is to watch the game and see what Madden simulates and predicts.
They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-7
Oh
lead.
boy.
You know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say.
It's way too early for me, I guess.
They get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team.
Okay, so Washington got the ball first, and they got a touchdown. As you see, Dallas got the ball back, moved down the field, and then Dak threw an interception. Now Washington's got the ball back. And then we were discussing how Washington got to where they are today. They lost to the Saints. Then they lost to Kansas City. They went to Green Bay. And they had a relatively competitive game. It's just that things didn't bounce their way. A couple fourth downs, couple goal line stanzas, and then they lost to Denver. And so, okay, after beating the Falcons week 1, on October 3rd, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4 straight. They lost 4 straight. Then they had their bye week, okay? The first week in November. Then they took on Tampa Bay. They beat Tampa Bay by 10. They went to Carolina, beat them by 6. They hosted Seattle on Monday night, eked one out there. And then this past week, they went out to... Ooh, hit as he thrown. Oh my goodness, how did he get... Then they went out to Las Vegas and he got a win there. So, okay. They started the season 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, and then they were 2-6, and they've won 4 in a row to get out of that hole and become 6-6. And now this is their last 5 games. Divisional opponents. It's Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. Explain that to me. You know, explain that logic of thinking to me. Why would... Who are these schedule makers? That's my question. Who's getting paid to make these schedules? I really want to know. And I know it's not just that simple of will. I know you have to see, like, okay, what was it? Like, best example. Week 13. No, Atlanta was home. So that's a poor example. I was gonna say, well, the Falcons' home stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, hosted the SEC championship game, and that was on Saturday the 4th. But Atlanta had a home game against Tampa Bay on the 5th, so that didn't make a difference. Touchdown, Washington, the football team.
Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it.
Man.
Or you make sure you have more people in his general.
So that's a poor example, but I mean, there's times like where, trying to think what's in, you know, like Dallas, they maybe, you know, they were in Pittsburgh last week, so maybe I'm thinking this week. Pittsburgh was in Cincinnati. But like state championships, state football championships are held in some NFL stadiums. Like I know Pittsburgh, and I think Dallas. And they host state championship games for football, so it's being used, but it just depends on what the stadium or area is being like. Okay, that was the start of the 2013 season. Sounds about right. Yes. The Baltimore Ravens. They won the Super Bowl in the 2012 Super Bowl, and so they got to kick off the 2013 season. But hey, the Baltimore Orioles, the baseball team, had a home game the same day, and they shared the same parking lot. So they decide to say, "Hey, we're going to have to kick off the season in Denver instead." You know, the team that they beat to make it to the Super Bowl, one of the teams that they beat to make it to the Super Bowl. So Denver gets to host the season opener, and not you, which is a bunch of bull honky. And they lost, and what happened? Denver went to the Super Bowl that year, and they got shellackled. Excuse me.
Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Show. It just depends, I guess. What is this, 3rd and 4? Man, Dallas ain't doing so hot. Make sure. Well, I don't know. As you see, they have Mike McCarthy coaching, but we all know he had Corona last week, so he could not coach. I don't know if he still has Corona, the COVID.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Prescott down.
Oh, he can run.
Steps away to his left.
Oh, that was another big controversy over the week. No, not this past. Was it this past? Yeah, this past weekend.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really
where in the ACC championship game, Pittsburgh quarterback, he's a scrambler, okay? He takes off running, and I don't know if it's like 15, 20 yards down the field. He fakes the slide. He goes to slide, and he faked it. And the 2 defenders on him, you know, stop because, well, if quarterback goes to slide, boom, and you hit him, well, you're going to get penalized. Well, he fakes it, and he keeps running for a touchdown. And the Wake Forest coach was not happy about that. I've seen some other defenders in the college ranks not happy about it. It's like that should not be allowed because they're saying okay, we're trying to protect the quarterback. We're in the age of protecting the quarterback. Okay, and with college having targeting, where was that going to? With the age of protecting the quarterback, you know, you go for a slide, and defender's gonna give himself up because you hit the quarterback, boom, that's another extra 15 yards. And so the Wake Forest coach wasn't happy, but they got beat. And I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? If it's, well, obviously there's no rule about it, but I get where the defenders are come from. They go for a you know, you don't want to get that penalty, that targeting, and get thrown out of the game. So we'll see if there's any progress on that later on.
man complete over the middle. It's Schultz. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And again, it's Prescott.
Ooh, and oh, pocket collapses on him.
Pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Let's see.
Able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. When you're down
Any
a couple
other?
scores like
Let's
this,
see.
you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves.
I have no idea who that is. What? What's this?
Big play here will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott.
Ooh, broken up.
Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not easy to hold on to.
Get readjusted.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs.
Okay, what's this? NFL points. Former soccer executive Alexander Giffenfort to lead Germany operations. The NFL has named former soccer executive as it prepares to hold regular season games there as early as next year. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Woo! Look at that punt.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And here comes a big
We'll start working earlier next year after moving from commercial arm of Germany's governing body for the Olympic sports. The NFL said Thursday before that he worked at English Premier League's giant Manchester United and Germany soccer club Fortin? No. Dusseldorf? Okay. Interest in NFL has grown steadily in Germany, prompting the league to announce plans for a game there, building a success as London games.
Should we call it far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
Stadiums used in Central Soccer Club, Fortuna. Fortuna. Well, it looks like Fortuna, but I don't think that's how it's pronounced. You know what? Don't you hate it when you have a word? You know what the word is. You say the word all the time, but when you see it spelled out, it's like, huh? Oh, that. Oh, man, I feel like an idiot. But, is one of the possible candidates. The other potential host cities on the short list are Munich and Frankfurt. Brett Gasper, NFL head of Europe and UK, said in October the decision of German City was dated. NFL owners must approve the choice of the city. Okay, so I think the question becomes, am I a fan of the NFL playing in Europe? Yes and no. I love the concept of NFL Europe / Europa, where they use it as a developmental league in the summer to get like practice squad members and 3rd, 4th, 5th stringers actual tune-up games, you know, playing over in Europe, giving Europeans a taste of American football. Okay. And so, with that, okay. I love NFL Europe's concept, and most of the teams at the end of it were in Germany anyways. And so that was their base of operation, was almost in Germany. And
They rally up to stop him short of the marker. Just a
I mean,
yard
not everyone.
there. That's going to
I
bring
mean,
us to a fourth down.
I don't know if Germany's like most centralized. I mean, it gives the European continent some place to go, but with NFL Europe, it gave players a place to develop that weren't going to be everyday starters and that could make the starting roster. And two, this gives that second life for those players because and it's going to be touchback. I mean, MLB, we all know how MLB works, Major League Baseball. They got the minor league system. They have tons, hundreds, if not thousands of minor league teams throughout the country. Plus, you have the world leagues. You have Japan, Korea, what? South American, Dominican, whatever. I mean, you can play baseball all over the world. But I mean, just if you're just looking at Major League Baseball in the States, you have, oh, look at that run. You have Major League Baseball, but then you have the minor leagues. You got AAA, AA, Single A, lower Single A, rookie ball, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, you have multiple places to home your games and find that next big talent. And if you're a baseball prospect and love playing baseball and are dedicated, there you go. You have a place to keep playing. Basketball, similar. It's very similar. Like the NBA now has the G League, the Gatorade League. Used to be the D League because D stood for developmental. But I mean, they have a minor league system. You can play in the G League and then get prompted up to the NBA. And the NBA has a lower, has less minor league opportunities. I mean, it's either you play in the G League or you play overseas. Okay? NHL, they have the AHL, they have what's it, the East Coast? They have another one under the AHL. The AACH or HL or whatever, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what the acronym is, but they have several others, and you can always play overseas in Russia, in Europe. So, but when it comes to the NFL, they really don't have that minor league system. And I mean, I don't even want to say the Arena League, but the Arena League I don't think even exists anymore. Arena Football League. Let's check this out. Yeah. It's closed in, wow. It started in '87. It was founded in '86 and folded in 2019. That's sad. And they even had their own developmental league, the AF2, because Green Bay had a team in there. But then they did some shake-up work, and now, boom. But I think oh jeez. Is this what I want? Or is this the wrong one? This is the wrong one. I think this is what I want. Or you... No, you're the wrong one too. You're the wrong one too. Everything's the wrong one.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force a bottom of 3rd and 14.
That's a Green Bay. This will tell me if they're still in operational. Yeah, oh, yeah, they play me. Well, they're still the Indoor Football League. That's been around since 2009. It has 16 teams right now. Ooh. I'll have to look into that. Anyways, I mean, the NFL. I mean, okay, you like the closest thing the NFL has for developmental league is, let's be honest, what? A 41, 51, that's a, oh man, 58-yard field goal attempt?
And he's gonna miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And the score will stay right where it is.
I don't think you would have had it anyways. So Dallas attempted field goal, fell short and to the left.
Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go.
But I mean,
he's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them.
You've had several pop-up. Okay, the closest thing the NFL has to a developmental league is college football. Because you have the NFL and then college football is like 1 and 1A. And
two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they
but I mean, is it really developmental? No, because there are plenty of schools and colleges that the players they don't get that second opportunity. I mean, sure, there's the Canadian Football League, okay, but there's only been, I think, a handful of players that have played in the CFL that have come over to the NFL and had success. Most notably, Warren Moon. That's about the only guy I can think of. Excuse me. That he started his career in the Canadian League and had success there, won several Grey Cups with the Edmonton Eskimos at the time, and came to the NFL and had a successful career. In my opinion, he had a successful NFL career, even though he did not win the big one or an MVP. I don't think he was a very successful quarterback. He's a Hall of Famer because he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's not the NFL Hall of Fame. It's Pro Football. No. I don't know how many times Pro Football recognizes Canadian achievements, but I mean, you can't deny the success Warren Moon had in the CFL and then came to the States and continued that success to some degree. Okay? But throughout the years, we've seen other pop-up leagues that haven't really lasted more than like 3, 4, maybe pushing 5 seasons. You had the USFL. They only lasted, I think, 3 seasons because, oh hey, they went from spring football to, hey, let's compete with the big boys. Let's play in the fall. It's like, no, don't. I mean, I was not alive or around when the USFL started, but watching the 30 for 30 and all the other things, reading about It's like, why would you want to move from the spring to the fall and compete?
Now
Okay.
comes the Washington field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 53.
You need to be that filler. Oh, he's way short.
And that one's not gonna get there. Not enough.
You need to fill that void. That was the whole point of
And
spring
this score
football.
will stay right where it
Is that, well, you have the NFL, the big boys, in fall. Okay? Then, once the NFL's over, I give it a month
The
or a
Dallas
few
offense
weeks,
back out on
because
the
it's like,
field.
don't start right away after the Super Bowl. Give it a week, give it a few weeks.
Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after
Yeah,
the
you
missed
need
field
that
goal.
that breather. And then all of a sudden here, it's spring football. Hey, and you get this hear a bunch of no-namers, and I kind of like the no-namers because it's a carefree thing. But you had the USFL, and USFL's coming back, and then you had the World Football League, which turned into NFL Europe. You had the XFL. You've had the United Football League. That was in the fall though. They competed against the NFL to some extent, but not on Sundays or Saturdays. But that only lasted, like I said, 2 or 3 seasons, if that. Oh, intercepted, and he might go all the way to Dallas's 47.
To the 47-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for.
And then the XFL tried again, but then, you know, COVID. Oh.
What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM
I gotta eat my
sleep was off.
bananas.
I'm trying to come up with something.
How the heck did I manage to do that? Gotta stretch more. Cramps. Okay. Everything's good. Whew. We'll see how this drive goes, and then we'll take a look at the standings in the NFL.
A run here for J.D. McKissick, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Heineke. And well, has Washington found their quarterback? The playoff hero that fell short, that if they would have beaten Tampa Bay, everything would have been right in the world.
Second and 9. Now Heineke. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him
Oh, let's see.
defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to
Is
take that type of
Coach Mike
physical
McCarthy
approach against him the rest of the game.
coaching
He's had
this
his way
weekend?
so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the
Well, I
defense.
know that. Oh, well, it doesn't say anything.
Third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
It says,
Heineke.
sounds like he's going to be rejoining the team. Oh, incomplete.
Is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Possession of the football going back to the Cowboys. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to
Okay, let's take a look at these current standings in the NFL and playoff. Oh, we actually have some playoff scenarios come. I'll get those up too once I'm done looking at standings. Oh man, I hate the pitch play. I do and I don't. So this is what these standings look like currently in the NFL.
They're not just holding the line because they're doing their
Okay, so in the AFC East, as we always start, it looks like was old is new again. The New England Patriots, 9-4, on top of the East. Who would have thought how last year turned out? You know, half their defense opting out because of COVID. They lose their quarterback that they've had for 2 decades. And they missed the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. That sounds about right. And don't win the division for the first time since as well. And here they are. They're back at they're 9-4. They only played they only attempted 3 passes last week in that win against Buffalo. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's similar to the Packers in the last 2 decades, kind of, sort of, where the Packers have, or since I'd say since 2000. Okay, that's easier. Since 2000, the Packers have only missed the playoffs 5 times. Because they missed it in 2005. Oh, in 2006. I forgot about 2006, but 2005 is when they went 4-12. They had a horrible, winless season. I mean, they've only had a losing season maybe 5 times. That's one thing. Anyways, they missed the playoffs in 05 and 06 and 08, and a losing season in 08. But they made the playoffs every year since then until 2017 and 2018. So yeah, they missed the playoffs 5 times. Man, I'm looking at the wrong camera. 5 times. Oh, look at Dak. Man, I've been playing with fumbled it. 5 times since 2000. And the Patriots are very similar. And I think the Patriots only missed the playoffs twice since then. But anyways, they're 9-4. Buffalo, who thought was going to be the new beast in the East, they're 7-5. Miami, they're on a little roll, just like New England. New England has won 7. Miami's won 5 in a row. They are 6-7. And the Jets, New York Jets, are 3-9. Oh. Then we move on to the AFC North. Baltimore, and a heartbreaking loss last week. They decided to go for 2, and it failed and lost to Pittsburgh. But they are 8-4. Cincinnati is in second place at 7-5. Pittsburgh is 6-5-1, and Cleveland is 6-6. So the AFC North is one of 2 divisions with every team at 500 or better. Oh, the Cowboys are actually moving the ball. In the AFC South, you have the Tennessee Titans at 8-4. They have lost 2 straight. Indianapolis, they're on a roll. They're making a comeback. They are 7-6. I gotta figure out when they play each other again, or are they all done? Houston, who's apparently already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. They are 2-9, was it? 2-10, my bad. And Jacksonville, for some reason, they're not mathematically eliminated. They're 2-10. And in the AFC West, we have Kansas City. They are 8-4, who have won 5 straight. So they were 3-4 at one point. They won 5 straight. Then we have the LA Chargers. They are 7-5. And then Las Vegas and Denver are both 6-6 respectfully. That's how the AFC looks. Now on the NFC side. Let's see, can them boys punch it in? 2nd and 2. at Washington's 4-yard line. Man in motion. Hand it off to Elliott. Elliott is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. No! No!
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
But as usual, we start off in the NFC East, and we have, like I said before, we have them boys. They are 8-4. They're on top of the East at the moment. And nipping at their heels are the Washington football team at 6-6. It's gotta be 4-down territory if they don't get it, right? Touchdown. Damn boys! 6-6, and then you have Philadelphia. They are 6-7. Philly must be on their bye then too this week, I'm guessing. Yep. I think it's Philly and New England are the only two teams that are on their byes this week. I don't like week 14 byes. With 4 weeks to go then. And then the Giants are 4-8. Then we move on to the NFC North. We have the Green Bay Packers. They are 9-3 on top of the North, followed by Minnesota at 5-7, who are actually not that close behind. When if things turn out just right, fall just right, well, they could make the play. Green Bay could clinch the North come Sunday if things fall just right. Then you have Chicago. They are 4-8, and the Detroit Lions 1-10-1, and are technically not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs just yet. When we get to the second half, I'm gonna get that scenario up. What all needs to happen for Detroit to make the playoffs? Because I think I mentioned last week, I saw it on CBS Sports Twitter account. Someone listed out who has to win, and who has to win, and this is how Detroit gets in as a 7th seed in the NFC. That's because how crappy the NFC is. And of course, they would be the 7th seed, and plain and simple, they need to win out. And what happened last week? Oh my goodness. The Lions got their first win this season. I forgot to mention that. Detroit Lions got their first win of the season because they left too much time on the clock for Jared Goff and company. But anyways, yeah, they're 1-10-1. NFC South, we move to Tampa Bay. They're 9-3. They can clinch the South this weekend as well if certain things have happened. Excuse me. And you got Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans, all at 5-7. And wow, the Saints have lost 5 in a row. They were 5-2 at one point. Is that when Jameis Winston went down? Because I mean, before Winston went down, they were on a roll. They were 5-2. And then since they lost their quarterback, down they go. And then NFC West, Arizona, 10-2. I know a win and they clinch a playoff berth. But they're right behind them are the LA Rams at 8-4, San Francisco 6-6, and the Seattle Seahawks are 4-8. So this is what it would look like if the playoffs were today. And like I said, Houston has already been eliminated. They are the only team so far who has been mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. But in the AFC, you have the New England Patriots. Sounds familiar. They are 9-4. They have the top seed in the AFC, followed by Tennessee, Baltimore, and Kansas City, all at 8-4. So just think about this, though. New England, they're on the bye. Tennessee, Baltimore, Kansas City all win. We got a 4-way tie for first place. But New England will still have that tiebreaker because they're 7-1 within the conference. So Tennessee 5-3, Baltimore 5-4, and Kansas City 3-4 at the moment. So, but then your 3 wildcard teams would be the LA Chargers at 7-5, Cincinnati at 7-5, and Buffalo at 7-5.
And they'll throw again. Heineke.
No, Indianapolis, they're on a bye this week too, as well.
And this looks like it's going to be holding.
But then you have those would be your playoff teams in the AFC. But then you have Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, Cleveland, and Denver. 5 other teams with non-losing records would be missing out of the playoffs. And Miami at 6-7. Oh, they must have a bye too this week. Okay, so it must be Indianapolis, Philly, Miami, and New England. I think I said 4 different teams. They all must be on byes this week because they have played 13 games. And then you have the Jets, Houston, and Jacksonville. They're crappy.
But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off.
Oh, and then the NFC.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing on 2nd and long. Heineke.
Intercepted. And Dallas has all 3 timeouts just before halftime. Okay, on the NFC side, you have Arizona on the top seed at 10-2. Then you got Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and Dallas are your next 3 division winners in that specific order. Then you have the 3 wildcard teams would be the LA Rams, Washington, and San Francisco. San Francisco is the last 500 team. Everyone else below 500. But the thing is though, everyone is still alive in the playoff hunt. Philly at 6-7. Okay. Minnesota at 5-7. Okay. Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans at 5-7. The New York Giants at 4-8. Chicago at 4-8. Seattle at 4-8. And Detroit at 1-10-1. Okay, let's see if I can find this real quick.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
We got 49 seconds still, half time. Plenty of time. Look at that protection.
To the left side and complete for a
And they call another timeout.
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Scrolling down. Okay, so this is what we got so far for playoff, clinching, or elimination scenarios. Well, we'll see how them boys can do on 3rd and 3.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott got his man.
And they're gonna waste their last time out. No, they're gonna hurry up. Okay, so basically in the NFC, Arizona will clinch a playoff berth with a win, or losses by San Francisco and Minnesota, or losses by Minnesota, Carolina, and New Orleans. Detroit will be eliminated from the postseason contest with a loss. A San Francisco win. Wins by Atlanta and New Orleans, and wins by Minnesota and Chicago. I'm still going to get that scenario up and rattle that off after halftime. They're going to have to call their last time out now. They better not send out their kicking unit. Try one more pass play. Green Bay can clinch the North. Okay, Green Bay will clinch the NFC North division title with a win and a Minnesota loss. And the funny thing is, Minnesota plays on Thursday night. a playoff berth with a win and losses by New Orleans and San Francisco. So they can clinch a playoff berth if Minnesota wins. They just can't win the North. Oh, okay, you gotta send the field goal unit out now. Tampa Bay will clinch the NFC South division title with a win and losses by Carolina and New Orleans. So 3 teams from the NFC can clinch playoff berths, while none can from the AFC. And then in the AFC, Jacksonville will be eliminated by if a loss or a win by any of the following teams: Buffalo, Chargers, Denver, Pittsburgh, or Cleveland. And the Jets will be eliminated from postseason contention with a loss. Buffalo win, Kansas City win, Cleveland win, Cincinnati win, Pittsburgh win, Chargers win, Denver win. I ain't reading all those. But yeah. Gotta love it. Loving every minute of it.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
Barring a touchback, which just happened.
They will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
So we'll watch the not even watching the. I'm going to go use the bathroom. Enjoy halftime. I'll be right back.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here at our nation's capital with a Washington football team on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Six yards left on second down. They go to Elliott again. 40 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And fights through one man. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 31-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 31. Throwing. Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Okay, I'm back. Longer. I was going a little longer than expected, but I had run an errand.
They can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play
and
go.
we'll find out what.
If the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put it.
All right, this guy.
Something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Ooh, they moved the ball pretty decently. Oh, look at that. Oh! They stopped him short, though. Okay, let's see if I can find this now. Scenario that the Detroit Lions would make the playoffs.
And they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
A simple 35-point plan to get the play. Let's see if this could be it. No, I don't want that. Here we go. This was 6 days ago. Okay, so it's 1st and goal for Dallas at Washington's 2-yard line. Handing off to Elliott, and he walks right in, basically.
Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Oh.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point.
I don't want to see that or hear that.
It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott.
But anyways, like I was saying, here we go. The winless Lions can somehow still make the playoffs. Here are the 45 things that need to happen. Week 13 results. The Lions needed to keep their playoffs hope alive. So, what needed to happen was the Cowboys. The Cowboys beat the Saints, which happened. The Lions beat the Vikings, which did. They needed Dolphins to beat the Giants, Buccaneers to beat the Falcons, Jets beat the Eagles, Cardinals beat the Bears, Raiders beat the Washington, and Seahawks beat the 49ers. Which, unfortunately, the Jets and Raiders did not win. But, let's see, ironically enough, I feel like the most unrealistic result in the week is not, well. But they did almost, yeah, okay, so. But with those two, that did not happen. Excuse me. Even with those two results not happening, Lions are still alive. This one needs to happen this week in Week 14. Lions win. No duh. Steelers need to beat the Vikings. The Cowboys need to beat Washington. Texans need to beat Seattle. The Jets need to beat the Saints. The Falcons need to beat the Panthers. The Chargers need to beat the Giants. Bengals need to beat the 49ers. And the Packers need to beat the Bears.
Only needing 2 yards on second down.
Week 15. If all those happen this week. Week 15.
Handoff for Gibson.
Lions need to beat the Cardinals. Eagles need to beat Washington. Cowboys need to beat the Giants. Bills need to beat the Panthers. Falcons need to beat the 49ers. The Rams need to beat the Seahawks. Buccaneers need to beat the Saints. And the Bears need to beat the Vikings. Now, if all the stars are lining up, next phase would be Lions need to beat the Falcons, Rams beat the Vikings, Giants beat the Eagles, Buccaneers beat the Panthers, Cowboys beat Washington, Seahawks beat the Bears, Dolphins beat the Saints, and Titans beat the 49ers. Week 17, if everything is still lining up perfectly, this is what needs to happen next.
Heineke now from the 50. Hitting Samuel on the slant. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the
So week 17, this is what needs to happen. I want this hang on. Yes.
Here's second and a yard. Here's Gibson.
Okay, so.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 60 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And just a yard to go here on second down. They'll run. It's Gibson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Okay. Let's just try to get through this. Hopefully no more interruptions, but you know how it is. Life is life. Life happens and we go from there.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off.
Oh man, things just suck. We'll get back to this line scenario in a minute. Just need to nothing major. Just you know how everyone has a bad day and things just don't go right and you forget stuff.
Here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
And you try and move on. So.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
Oh no, he's short. He's down at the 1.
And he's brought down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Okay, so Washington's at the 1. Can they punch it in? No.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the
Okay.
3. And oh boy, as you can see, Terry McLaurin.
Okay, so week 17, if everything is still lining up perfectly for the Lions, they need to beat the Seahawks. Saints need to beat the Panthers. The Bears need to beat the Giants. Washington need to beat the Eagles. Packers need to beat the Vikings, and Texans need to beat the Niners. Yeah, I know that's disgusting. But anyways, if the Lions' playoff chances are still alive at this point, I'm going to assume, this is from CBS Sports, assume it's because the football gods want them in the playoffs, and if they want the Lions in, they'll make sure the Lions upset Seattle, Seattle, and the Texans beat the 49ers.
Gibson again.
Touchdown, Washington.
Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And Washington has retaken the lead. But just power football there.
And then we get to week 18. This is what needs to happen. Obviously, the Lions need to beat my Packers, which I hope doesn't happen. But it depends on where the Packers are in the playoff standings at that point. Falcons need to beat the Saints. The Giants need to beat Washington. Cowboys need to beat the Eagles. Vikings need to beat the Bears, and the Rams need to beat the 49ers. And considering the Lions need 45 things to happen, Week 18 should be the least stressful one since they only need 6 things to go their way. That being said, if the Lions do make the playoffs, I will print out the entire story and eat it with ketchup. Anyway, here's a look at the list in an easier shareable format. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I mean, is it plausible? Yes. Is it going to happen? Highly unlikely.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Oh, he takes out.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquish that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those changes that, then maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play.
So Washington's up 21-17 with about 5 minutes left in the third. Less than 5 minutes left in the third. Dallas is on the move.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy.
Woo.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott.
Oh, I was gonna. Oh, incomplete. He should have went with the under guy instead of the over guy.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it.
Woo. That's all you need is get the 1st down and move the change.
Up near midfield.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1.
Dalvin Cook makes quick return from shoulder injury. Will play Vikings game. Source Steelers barring setback. Sources say. Minnesota Vikings star running back Dalvin Cook will play against the Steelers barring pre-game setback Thursday night, just 11 days after dislocating his shoulder. I don't know.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Is it? I mean, I've never dislocated my shoulder. I hope I never dislocate my shoulder. But I know it varies. Because I know there's been several wrestlers who have dislocated their shoulders, and sure, they pop it back in, but they eventually would need shoulder surgery because of how it dislocated, and just, yeah, you feel fine. It's like, oh yeah, but there's tearing and stuff that's happening in there.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Cook initially was expected to miss at least 2 games, just 2 games. But sources told ESPN Vikings were optimistic and okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I would rather have, a dislocated shoulder or a sprained MCL, which Aaron Jones had. Aaron Jones 2 weeks ago seemed like he was running just fine. We'll see how that turns out. And like, speaking of the Packers, they got Jair Alexander. He came back. He was practicing. Oh, jeez. Why would you? Oh, come on. Don't freeze up on me now. That's the least of my worries. Come on. I'll give it a little time to breathe. Because that's when I first noticed I didn't have it on the game. There we go.
Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
No. Yeah, now what? Bill Belichick's now betting favorite to win Coach of the Year. I don't know.
As he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well.
Touchback,
Bit of a
okay.
mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
Because I mean,
Here again comes
comeback
the
coach of the
captain
year, I
offense
guess,
leading his crew
in my
back
opinion.
out there now. He's played well. Good first
I
half.
don't
He's
know
continued that here in
if
the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you
he,
look at?
I don't know if that ever happened
Do
though.
you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches
Well,
don't want
yeah.
to talk about that,
Cliff Kingsbury, he should
when
be
I
up there
played in
too.
college, our first
Matt
rule for
Fleur,
every game,
even though Matt
the team
LaFleur
making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kinda
turned the
how they
Packers
judge
around year
you. You take
one,
care of the ball,
took them
not turn it
13-3
over,
NFC
keep
Championship
it in the
game.
proper
He didn't win
hands,
Coach of
and
the
give
Year.
your team a chance to win.
Last year, same thing, 13-3, number one seed, NFC Championship game again. No Coach of the Year honors.
Typically, we think it's the strong
And now here again, only 3 losses yet again.
especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic.
Matt LaFleur's not going to win Coach of the Year. But everyone's going to say, well, he's got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, so? Oh,
Now a second down and 6.
we will we'll watch this Washington drive, and then we'll get to my picks of the week.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. It's
Woo.
complete to Brown, right side.
Well, it took 5 Cowboys to take him down.
Field, they'll spot it at the 49.
So that'll be the end of the third. Washington up by 4.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after
Yeah, that's the
this
difference
break.
maker.
You're
Dallas had
watching
settled for a
the
field goal
NFL
at the end of the
on
half
EA Sports.
instead of a touchdown. Otherwise, we could have had a tied game.
First down, Heineke. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all
Ooh.
the big boys are.
Moving
making
those
some
chains.
in the open field.
And okay, so like Washington, they won the East last year, and Dallas, they had a bad season because they lost Prescott and they had quarterback issues and just never found rhythm. But yet, it didn't look like anyone was going to win. No one wanted to win the East last year. Came down to the final game of the season,
On first and 10, it's
and
inside the
how
20
Washington's
before he's brought
defense
down.
performed. That was their
Rushing for him now,
their
so he's been tremendous all
what
day
helped them
long.
Well, that's a
get in the
carry you
playoffs.
have to be satisfied with.
And when Washington's defense didn't perform right away, it's like, well, who's gonna win this? And Dallas, they were moving right along and just taking care of business.
And keep picking up good yardage.
So here's a first and 10
Yep.
now, down inside the 20.
But now here we are. Oh, there's gonna be a holding penalty. This ball's coming back. I mean, here we are where Dallas had a rough November, and Washington has won 4 in a row. I mean, we're sitting at not a standstill, but a place where Washington gets a W. They're going to move much closer to the East, winning the East, and Dallas is, a little setback. Both teams can still make the playoffs easily.
Throwing. Heineke. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space.
So 2nd and 3.
Yeah, if he can get a
Probably give it to Gibson up the middle. Look at that. 1st and goal at the 6. Yep.
he's going to win that battle just about every time.
19 carries for almost 100 yards.
They're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that?
So, a touchdown won't put the Cowboys away, but it will make it a little more difficult for them to make the comeback.
Keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one
And it
out.
looks like another run play.
They'll run with
And
Gibson.
nowhere to go that time.
Maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And the ball smacked
11
down
minutes
the
and
5-yard
counting.
line. Here's 2nd and goal. Heineke now.
Oh, he's under pressure. He just throws it away. Big 3rd down. Here's a big 3rd down. Okay.
Listen, when you've got the lead,
Dallas keeps it out of the end zone. They do a field goal attempt. Oh, yeah, touchdown here. Field goal.
you can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now Heineke.
He's under pressure. He rolls to his left. And he gets sacked. So the field goal unit's coming out.
The 11-yard line. A tough time to take the sack. Now it's 4th and goal, and that's a loss of 6. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense.
He's
gets
lucky he
And
didn't
you have
fumble
to
that
find a way
ball.
to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.
It's good.
And his kick is indeed good.
Okay, let's take a look at the matchups this week. Last week I bounced back, thankfully. I think I only got 4 wrong. I was got 10 right and 4 wrong.
And if you and I
And
about
well,
it, you know he is as well because in the back of his mind he's thinking
I changed my mind on that one. That could have went either way, and that could have went either way. So
he just made that
it is what it is.
wants one more
Anyways,
later
so
to truly make up for the earlier miss.
I am now 115 and 78 on the season, a 60% accuracy. So we move on to week 14.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose.
Why is there a big guy back there? Okay, so this is what we got. We got Thursday night football, Pittsburgh at Minnesota. Sunday's early games, we got Baltimore at Cleveland, Jacksonville at Tennessee, Las Vegas at Kansas City, New Orleans at the New York Jets,
Head to the field now.
Dallas at Washington. Oh.
This close, you gotta feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it.
Atlanta at Carolina,
And affect their
Seattle at Houston. Late games, Detroit at Denver, New York Giants at LA Chargers, San Francisco at Cincinnati, Buffalo at Tampa Bay. Sunday night football, Chicago at Green Bay, and on Monday Night Football, we got the LA Rams at Arizona. Which, another game I could have simulated, but I chose not to. I felt I'd rather had this one. Don't want to do 2 Monday night games in a row.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
Uh-oh. Oh, are they going to get rough in the passer, maybe? No, holding on the offense. So, we started with Thursday Night Football, Pittsburgh at Minnesota. Now, it's hearing the news about Dalvin Cook's potential return tonight. I mean, I'm a little iffy, but it depends. I mean, here are the two teams. One tied the Detroit Lions. The other one lost to the Detroit Lions. And, I mean, Minnesota could have lost to Detroit twice this year. And I want to say if Pittsburgh had Big Ben, they would not have lost to Detroit. Or would not have tied Detroit in that game. But who knows. Now, the game's in Minnesota. It's climate controlled. I think it can go either way. Obviously I'm rooting for Pittsburgh because with the Minnesota loss and a Green Bay win, hey, playoff bound for Green Bay and divisional title. So, and I mean they played Pittsburgh, or they played Baltimore pretty well. I'm going with Pittsburgh. I think go either way actually tonight. Could end up as another tie. Who knows? But I'm picking Pittsburgh for the win. So Sunday now, Baltimore at Cleveland. Even knowing Baltimore lost on the fingertips of Andrews, I still gotta go with them. They are still the better team in my opinion. Cleveland just hasn't seen the way this year where they finally made the playoffs last year for the first time in forever. They actually won a playoff game for the first time in forever, but it's not quite the same for Cleveland this year. And it's like everyone on that Cleveland hype train. For me, for once, I was not on that hype train. I'm usually a sucker of hopping on that hype train and choo-choo and boo. It's like, man, why? But not this time. I wasn't on the Cleveland hype train, and not going to be on the Cleveland hype train for a very long time once I've seen some consistency. So give me Baltimore. They're the better team.
He's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get just a yard on the scramble.
Then we move on to Jacksonville versus at Tennessee. I would like to say Tennessee's a lock, but Tennessee has lost to the Jets. They've lost to, well, I don't want to say losing. They didn't lose to Indianapolis. Who did they lose to? Houston? But, I mean, Tennessee's random losses to crappy teams have been shaky. So, and I mean, yes, they don't have Derrick Henry, and they have to rely on, touchdown. We're just an extra point away from a tie. But I mean, Tennessee's the better team. They are. So we'll see. I'm going with Tennessee. So yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I want to say Tennessee's a lock, but who knows? They had 2 of their 4 losses have been against teams like, how did they lose to them? Did they lose to I can't remember. Anyways, we move on. Las Vegas at Kansas City. This is going to be a tough one. It's a nooner. Kansas City hasn't lost in a long time. They're only like one of 4 teams with at least a 4-game winning streak or more. And they're the home team. I gotta go with Kansas City. Vegas, yeah, they got that win on Thanksgiving thanks to the refs. But then they fell short against Washington. And they're on the road against a divisional opponent. Who knows? But give me Kansas City. They're riding the hot hand. Then we move on to New Orleans versus the Jets. And with the Saints, New Orleans losing 5 in a row. And the New York Jets have pulling they've won at least, 3 games? They beat Cincinnati, they beat Tennessee, and who else did they beat? I can't think of it at the moment. I swear they have 3 wins. Not like it really matters.
On 1st and 10, Heineke.
Oh, and he's sacked. But I suppose it depends on who's on your center. But I think the Saints can. Well, you know what? I am going to change that up. Give me the Jets, actually, because Jets are home. They're probably going to play in the elements. And who knows? I'm just pulling this one out of my butt. This isn't my upset of the week, though. It should be, but you know what? I just have, with the Saints losing 5 in a row and they're on the road now, who knows?
Another try after the first down sack. Heineke is going to flip one out here to his running back.
And then we move on to Dem Boys versus Washington. Right now the game is tied. Like I said, Washington's won 4 in a row. Dallas has got back on the winning ways, and I'm leaning towards Dallas in this game. But that's the other thing is I think it depends on who is coaching. I mean, is it gonna be was it Brady Quinn? Not Brady Quinn. Is that his first name? No, Dan Quinn. If Dan Quinn is coaching or is McCarthy's coaching, because I don't think. Well, no, the only time Mike McCarthy has won in Washington was that playoff game. Every other regular season game that he's played in Washington, they haven't won.
Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag.
About what? What's the review? It's 4th down anyways.
Feet in bounds. That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like
whatever. It's 4th down. Okay, you're going to move the ball back and make the punt a little different.
But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Let's listen. Oh, so now Dallas loses a timeout, which could be crucial for them. But how Madden works, timeouts mean nothing. But yeah, I like Dallas in this game. I think Dallas will get back on their winning ways and will stake a claim in the divisional hold.
50 yards of boot so far as this one's away. On the return is Lamb. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
Atlanta at Carolina. Is Cam Newton going to get the start? Is Sam Darnold going to get the start? I mean, Carolina's lost Christian McCaffrey, CM Shade, for the year. But Atlanta's Atlanta. Atlanta has never been the same after that loss in the Super Bowl. So, I don't know. I'm going with Carolina because they're the home team. They've had shown some consistency this year. I mean, all 3 teams in that South Division are 5-7. So, I'm going with the home team here. And then last noon game, Seattle at Houston. Seattle got the win last week over San Francisco. I am going to take them again over Houston. Houston's just a hot garbage. Unfortunately, they're on a team of rebuild and rebound. It's going to be a few years before Houston maybe sees winning ways again, because the Bill O'Brien experiment was a failure, obviously. Complete disaster.
But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Okay, so late games.
Prescott down.
Ooh, first down. Late games. We got Detroit at Denver.
He will have a Cowboys first down by about a yard as they find a way to
I mean, I like Denver because they're the home team. Do I really think Detroit's going to win? Not really. But should I pick Detroit? Detroit is actually pretty good. Detroit's a good team. It's just that they have horrible games.
And he's had the hot hand.
If that makes any sense.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming
So
up.
should I pick Detroit? No, I'm gonna stick with Denver. I think Denver's home team. Detroit's just too much on the high life, and they're gonna fall short, I think. So give me Denver. The Giants at Chargers. Chargers are the better team, even though they have the COVIDicus going on right now.
Play action now. Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
So,
Fair to say the secondary
give me the Chargers. They're the home team. They're the better team. I mean, even knowing that Giants fired their offense coordinator Jason Garrett a few weeks ago, I still think Chargers are going to get the W, even though they've been an up and down team. Oh, big third down, forcing a punt. Are we going to see overtime? I hope not. Okay, San Francisco at Cincinnati. 49ers got an embarrassing, I don't want to say embarrassing loss last week because they had played against the divisional foe. But this is a battle of which team's going to show up. Is Cincinnati going to actually show up this week? Or is it going to be their off week? And same thing with San Francisco. Just when it looks like they are an elite team, playoff contender, they falter. And one maybe for a 2-minute warning. Jeez. So I'm leaning towards Cincinnati because they're the home team here. Buffalo at Tampa Bay. I'm pretty sure you're not going to have a windy conditions and the wind's flying all over the place. But I think Buffalo's going to be a little starstruck and set back, and they're going to. I mean, this is the game I should have simulated too, but nah. Give me Tampa Bay. They're the home team. They're going to find a way to win. Take Buffalo to the woodshed, but who knows?
A first down throw for Heineke.
And he is sacked. So give me Tampa Bay over Buffalo. This is my lock of the week. Chicago at Green Bay. Give me the Packers. And hopefully with a loss to the Viking loss, the Packers then can coast to winning and clinching a playoff berth.
They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Heineke's throw complete here to his receiver Brown.
And then Monday Night Football. This is my upset. Give me the Rams over Arizona. That's my upset pick, and there you go. Those are my picks for the week. Let's see how this game ends up. Let's see. Okay, big 3rd and 8. A minute and a half left. They hand the ball off. Oh, and he has hold. They're going to have to call timeout in my mind. Why let the clock wind down? Yeah, you got the first down, but
First down now, but the clock continues.
you're not in field goal range.
Heineke. Pass complete. Thomas. And he'll be
They're going to have to call timeout soon. You don't have, if you're in field goal range, okay.
Time, Parker, they have all three timeout.
That means they have
And if you get the first down, yeah, call timeout in my opinion.
they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
First down now, but
40
the clock
seconds.
rolling. Now Heineke.
You got those toes in.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before
But
going out.
he had a kick earlier in the game that fell way short. But what do you do in this situation? Do you use your timeouts if you're Dallas to try to get the ball back with little no time? I think it's a little late for that.
Heineke on first
You
down.
just can't take a sack. Oh, he hit his favorite receiver.
McLaurin.
There we go. They take a timeout.
now
Washington.
use the first of their three timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. A good position to be in here, second and inches. And here's a give to Gibson.
Oh, look at that room. Go down, go down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Now they take another timeout.
Washington going to use the second of their three timeouts as they stop him with 22
No, this
ticks
is
to go
when,
in the fourth.
if I'm Washington, I run the ball again. Either force them to take their two timeouts, or run the clock down.
So from inside the
And
20,
you would
here's
hopefully
first and 10 at the
doesn't bubble it.
18.
That's when you just take some knees in.
Now Gibson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard
And
line.
no one's calling timeout yet. So Dallas isn't calling timeout. Doesn't pay for Dallas to call any timeouts.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game.
So here we go. First and goal at the 2. Game is on the line. 2 seconds left. Washington is going to line up for the game-winning field goal, which, who knows, maybe
So this is certainly a tough test here in
Dallas
the early
calls timeout.
career of the rookie kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it's good. He got it. He missed his lone attempt earlier, but he connects.
And Mike
with
McCarthy
Dallas
is just
Cowboys.
rah,
And
rah,
it'll
rah.
be all smiles in Georgetown tonight as Washington.
So there you have it. Matt is predicting that Washington gets the win this weekend and pulls within a game of Dallas in that tight NFC East race, which it looked like just a month ago that Dallas was running away with it.
Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win down
So
the field.
it came down to inches. If Dallas would have got a touchdown at the end of the first half, that field goal, they would have to go for it. But there you go. There you have it. There's your here's some highlights.
Those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
Yeah, I hope it's just as a thriller in real life that this one was.
That'll do it for us. For Charles
326
Davis,
passing yards, but Washington dominate mainly everywhere else.
You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Washington football
So
team.
there you have it.
Say so long from FedEx Field.
There you go. I apologize for some of the technical difficulties and some hopping in and out, but just bear with me. Otherwise, like, subscribe, whatever. Tune in next week. We'll see if Mad Guy right. And as always, adios, muchachos.